Welcome to Chemistry with Dr. Z. In this video, I'm going to talk about acid rains and the link between hydrocarbons and acid rains. Car engines and acid rain. So, cars use fuel that come from hydrocarbons, and because of the very high temperature in the car engine, this very high temperature can cause the nitrogen and oxygen from air to react together and bind together to give oxides, nitrogen oxides, like nitrogen oxide and nitrogen dioxide. Also, the fossil fuel like the natural gas, petroleum, and coal, all of these contain hydrogen carbon, which are hydrocarbons, but they also contain some traces of sulfur. The sulfur can undergo combustion with the complete combustion of the hydrocarbons, which is a reaction between the sulfur and oxygen, and that will lead to formation of sulfur oxides like sulfur dioxide. So what are acid rains, or what is acid rain, and how is it formed? So acid rain, we talked about the different oxides that are produced as some of the waste of the car engines, or the waste of the use of hydrocarbons as source of fuel, like nitrogen oxide, nitrogen dioxide, and sulfur dioxide. So these oxides will be pollutant into the air, and there when there is rain, then they will react with the water in the rain, and they will form acids. These acids are nitric acid and sulfuric acids. These acids act as a source of hydrogen ion, and these hydrogen ion are dissolved in water in the rain, and they will give the acid rains. So the effect of the acid rain will corrode rocks and buildings. They will alter the pH in soil or rivers, which can affect the ecosystem. And they also corrode limestone, which is dangerous, which can damage buildings and statues. So instead of using the hydrocarbon as a source of fuel or fossil fuels in cars, there is an alternate source, which is using hydrogen. So using hydrogen as a fuel has its advantages and disadvantages. So first of all, the main advantage of using hydrogen is that the only waste product of using hydrogen is water, which is a green gas basically. So it doesn't contribute as much to the greenhouse gases effect like carbon dioxide. It doesn't produce any nitrogen oxides or cause any acid rains. It's also produced through electrolysis of water to give hydrogen and oxygen. So we simply use, so it's like a renewable source because we have enough water, unlike the fossil fuels, which are non-renewable source of energy. However, more than 90% of the hydrogen produced is still derived from non-renewable energy. So the electrolysis and the that we use to produce the hydrogen itself is generated through the use of the non-renewable sources of energy. And eventually it's a gas, so it's very difficult to handle, unlike the liquids. So these are the pros and cons of using hydrogen as a green source